Yeah. Oh, what's going on, Winter? Oh, I just had a tough workout.
You canceled? Okay. What are you gonna do now? What's that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? That's a real moment for me, right? I'm really asking. What's the definition of it? And now there's a playbook for it. This individual, this entertainer, this athlete has done this. Now we're gonna cancel him, throw the book at him. Well, the court already did that. I'm dealing with that. But then you go into your social group or your work environment, and you have to pay a penance there too. Apparently, I don't disagree with that. But the idea of cancellation, in my opinion, I just think it's incomplete. You fuck up, you fall down, you make a mistake, and then you're in the corner for the rest of your life. Never mind your child, never mind your livelihood, never mind yourself, your self-confidence. So I chose to go a different route. You canceled? Okay.
They'll left me.
Frank has a new vid.
Yep, he uploaded a new vid and a new short. So we're gonna be reacting to that in a minute. Thanks for the donation though, James.
With nothing. No justice. No peace. Just names on the wall. The hunt isn't over. Not until I kill them all.
That's weird. That looked almost like an asset flip of Sifu. Same hallway. Yeah, hey, there's guns on it.
Bad dot line.
Well, another game like Sifu would be nice.
Come forward.
Do you remember the debate with Destiny about the study where vegans were the only diet that was statistically significant SS and the study author didn't recognize it in the abstract and someone was yapping at you about how SS works? Was that guy wrong?
The abstract was specifically talking about statistically significant differences between all groups combined, not meat eaters and vegans specifically. And yeah, the guy didn't know anything about fucking statistics. He was just a fucking retard. Thanks for the donation, W.
Your life
Yeah, fuck it. I just want to see gameplay. Yeah, whatever. I'm really fucking flabbergasted that they actually came out with an ill,
If have been talking
gameplay
with
trailer.
Twisted, and to my understanding. Don't scold me if I am wrong, but you banned him on Jasmine's behalf. Would you be willing to unban him so he come hang out with us in chat?
Who? If you, like, I don't know who the fuck that is, and I can't find their YouTube channel, so if you want me to unban somebody, then send me a fucking link to the YouTube channel. Like, you think I'm gonna be able to find some random YouTube channel just with search when they have, like, no subscribers, no uploads, and they're... So send me the fucking link! I don't know why that's so fucking hard for people to do. Unban me, unban me, unban me. How, dipshit? You won't even tell me the fucking name of your YouTube channel. So yeah, just send me a link, I can unban you. Thanks for the donation, Axel. Dodo Donatellers told you this would happen yesterday. Must Trump are making up already. Time to drop a really big bomb. Donald Trump says reason. That likely suggests to me that it might have more to do with legal reasons than them making up. Yeah, that's not an indication they're making up. That's more of an indication to me that he's afraid of getting sued or something. Zelensky gives an answer to Trump comparing the war in Ukraine to young kids fighting like crazy. Putin on your kids.
But sometimes you see two young children fighting like crazy. They hate each other and they're fighting in a park. And you try and pull them apart. They don't want to be pulled. Sometimes you're better off letting them fight for a while and then pulling them apart.
Oh
and
my
I gave
God.
that analogy to Putin yesterday. I said, President, maybe you're going to have to keep fighting and suffering a lot because both sides are suffering before you pull them apart, before they're able to be pulled apart. But it's a pretty known analogy. You have two kids, they fight, just let them go for a chancellor has to deal with.
That is outrageously stupid. So again, yeah, I'm not going to do anything. Well, that's cool. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Dodo donated $2. Let me see. She put chocolate in the middle of that? That's just fucking stupid.
Anissa and Ian's former boxer coach wants Anissa to take her pinned video on her Twitter down, because he doesn't want his brand to have anything to do with Anissa. Look at community note LMFAO.
Idubbbz former boxing coach alleges unpaid bonuses, being fired for reminding Ian of his dad and politely asking Anissa to take down this training video. The dispute discussed on H3. Yeah, she's kind of a toxic, cancerous retard that you'd never want to be involved with. Thanks for the donation, retard. Yeah, they're not making up. Clearly. Does Israel have a right to exist as a state? An insane question to ask. Blah, blah, blah. Why is Israel singled out as an ethno-state? Never Japan, South Korea, North Korea, China, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It's because it's Jews.
Billie Eilish talked about vegans, and what she said made some people upset.
I've always been a vegetarian, and like growing up, I never was like, don't eat that. People that are always like, I'm a vegan. In everyone's face, it's like, you're the reason people don't.
Well, she's a dumb cunt.
And secondly, well, this is what the government spent in 2024. Social Security and healthcare are obviously the big ones. But here, more than was spent on the military, more than everything else spent to run the government, were interest payments on the national debt.
We have so much debt that we're borrowing to pay the interest on the previous debt. Well, that's like getting a new credit card to pay off the old one, and if you're doing that, you're in trouble.
So right now, if interest rates go up just 1 percentage point more than they're expected to, it adds about $300 billion in borrowing a year.
So if some debt is good, but too much debt can be bad, when does it become bad, like unsustainable bad?
If the publicly held debt goes above roughly 175% of GDP, things get pretty hard at that point, and 200% is really the drop dead limit. And the reason why is once you hit that limit, you couldn't possibly raise taxes enough at that point to meet the interest payments.
That's the Greek-Portugal meltdown scenario. And when that happens, number one, usually your economy is not in very good shape, so it's not generating a lot of income, so you can't tax it, you can't pay the debt. Suddenly your interest rates go way up because the borrowers want their money back. No one can afford anything. You get a recession on top of everything else. You're having to raise taxes to pay off the borrowers who are demanding their money. They don't care how you're doing. And it's a really, really bad situation, and one that should be avoided because it can be avoided. Because once you're in there, there are no good choices.
So we did this as outer bound exercise, but some people ask, when could things unravel before that? And the answer is, it could be tomorrow. As soon as capital markets believe that Congress and the president are not going to get their act together, everything unravels, and it unravels very quickly.
Sure, this could be triggered when we just objectively borrow more than we can pay back, but whenever investors feel that the US isn't the safest place to put their money, they demand a higher interest rate. That's what happened after the tariffs when the dollar went down.
The dollar's only valuable if you want to hold something.
Yeah, Trump's gonna fuck over the economy. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
First Dono in months. First before I left, you and Jasmine got a divorce. Was it a clean divorce? Do you guys still keep in contact? And why the fuck is Impossible Chicken Nuggets so good? I saw vegan product at work and one ingredient was milk. SMH.
Impossible Chicken Nuggets have milk in them? Where the hell did you see those? Are you, imagining things? I'm pretty sure they don't have milk in them. Oh, you're talking about, something else. Alright, never mind, I misread that. I can't really share too many details, but Jasmine's been trying to make things difficult for me and failing, and I don't want to talk to her. So she sent me a couple messages here and there, but we're really not talking. Thanks for the donation, Aaron. CDG donate tellers. Hey Richard, I just finished my shoulder workout. How are you doing today? Did you work out? Have you ever had THC gummies that gave you a headache? I took one last night. Didn't even give me a good. Hi, just a headache. They're 6 months old. I did work out. I trained back biceps and forearms. And never had THC gummies that gave me a headache. I have taken a pure sativa before, and that gave me a headache. I don't know if they make pure sativa gummies. It might have something to do with the strain, but I've never had that before. And this was a little image I took from the back workout I did. I think I am getting relatively jacked at the moment. My traps have gotten way fucking bigger too. Massive fucking difference. Thanks for the donation, CDG.
Sorry VG. I have never had somebody unbanned before, and I am a little stupid from talking to retards all day. My bad. Here is the link though.
There you go. Thanks for the donation, Axel.
Any plans on getting a new woman anytime soon?
No, I don't need to listen to nagging all day. Thanks for the donation, Para. I'm really fucking surprised. This game seems like it's actually being developed. There's a lot of speculation that the people who put out that first trailer were just making a trailer for a game they were never going to make. And some people started to think it was a scam because I think they were getting like investor funding from somewhere, or they're asking for donations or some shit. But it looks like it's actually being made. And it looks really fucking good. So, that's cool. And this is the official PlayStation YouTube channel, so... yeah, it's gotta be, like, actually fucking coming out. Yeah, I'm excited for that one. Alright, Frank Tufano Mentz.
This is why you should never donate money online to anyone, especially if they're getting a lot of views. Because the elite, secret society members, these people control all online platforms, and they only funnel money to themselves. If you're not in the club, regardless of what happens to you, they won't let you raise money. I'm literally half blind, face disfigured, life completely torn apart by this doctor, and they take my campaign down for some BS reason. Help Frank fix his eyes. Followed a thorough review by our compliance team. What they're basically saying is, sorry, buddy, you're not in the club. You can't have any money. When these
He was clearly scamming people. He was asking for $400,000 for plastic surgery to just fix his eyes. You do not need $400,000 to do that. So he violated their terms of service. You're only supposed to ask for money for the thing you're asking for. So since the thing he was asking for, maybe you could argue it was like maybe $70,000, $80,000, you know, total cost on the high end, you know, including the surgery, travel fees, hotels, you know, those sorts of expenses. Him asking for $400,000, that was clearly egregious. So he just violated their terms of service. So there he goes. He does something stupid, and then he blames everyone else for it.
clowns like Amos Miller pretend they got raided by the USDA and raised $300,000. He stole $300,000 from people, and people feel bad for him. No one knows the truth.
Yeah. CDG donate killers, dude. Relatively jacked is ridiculous. For naturally, you're extremely muscular. The only people that have you beat are on copious amounts of steroids. In my opinion, you're nearing the pinnacle of aesthetics. A naturally large looks worse, in my opinion. Well, thank you, CDG. I appreciate that. Thanks for the donation, dude.
Oh, here we go blaming the Illuminati and the Jews again.
Yeah, that's what Frank does. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Been through in my life at this point. No family, no friends.
Oh my god. Literally starts off with crying.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. Face disfigured, half blind. These people stealing money from my business every week. And these gang stalkers are still trying to paint me as the bad guy. In my comments, saying things are my fault, that I'm a bad person,
Vince,
that I'm evil, that I file frivolous lawsuits. These people are pure sociopaths, psychopaths, and at this point, I don't really care. All I wanted to do was help people. All these fuckers are going to burn in hell as soon as they leave this planet. I've had enough. And then what's the point of even trying anymore? These people are so despicable. I spend one day, I guarantee you, I spend one day handing out flyers in Los Angeles. These cosmetic surgeons are going to lose more money than they could ever imagine. At what point are you going to stop trying to censor one guy at the expense of everyone else? So, every single lawsuit I've ever filed in court has legitimate and proven damages. And as a real small business owner, not in the club, there's no other way to put it. There's literally an organized group of people scheming to take down my business. They're scheming. They have group chat.
He got shoulder tattoos now. He also added, this is new too, that part of the snake I don't think used to be there. If I remember correctly. That rope one is fairly recent, the neck one too. Like, what is he doing? Dude, whenever somebody starts getting really shitty tattoos, and especially in weird places like your neck and shit, you know their life is falling apart. Look at Idubbbz. He ended up getting a bunch of really shitty fucking random tattoos. And It happens to everybody. Every time somebody's life is going to shit, they get like just dumb, random fucking tattoos in weird places.
Looks like Frank has gained muscle. What do you think's out his tats?
Well, Frank is in all likelihood taking testosterone. He's claimed before he was natural, but he's not. He's absolutely taking testosterone. What do you think stout his tats? Did you mean to say about? They're fucking terrible. Like, really, really stupid. He hasn't gained any muscle. Well, he hasn't been, like, weight training, but he's bigger than he would have been otherwise. Because, like, before, when he wasn't lifting, he was really fucking scrawny. So he does have more muscle relative to his, like, untrained sort of shape. Like, he's gotten bigger, clearly. So he's on steroids. His neck in particular has also gotten bigger. And again, without training, like, that's usually a clear sign that somebody's on gear.
Frank kinda looks like a Yakuza wannabe with beat up eyes, lol.
Yeah. He's just a weird person. It's like when you're in Grand Theft Auto or something and there's like a glitched NPC. It's basically what Frank is like. Thanks for the donation, Grey Knight. CDG donated $2. Her traps are the muscles that made the biggest improvement in recent years besides her chest, which is obviously now excellent. What would you attribute your trap development to? Just training traps more and changing my technique with shoulder shrugs. Seen you do shrugs in the past, so why do they work better now? So I'm doing more volume overall for traps. I've also changed my technique with shoulder shrugs where I use a wider grip. And I've also been doing Yates rows, which help a lot. Thanks for the donation though, CDG. My license is no longer suspended. Well, that's great. I donated 2 cars to Goodwill, and the tags were never turned in, and the people who bought them never registered the car. I think you're responding to somebody in chat. Retard donated $3. Let me see. Oh, God.
I think the tough thing just as a regular person, right? It's like we're seeing all these videos of people like picking up pieces of their children and like, of course, it's the sickest thing I think it's ever been televised. Basically, if you consider watching something on your phone being televised, it feels like a massacre, and it feels like, you know, I've called it a genocide. Other people have different thoughts about it, and that's fine, right? And I don't need anybody to share the same thoughts, or you two. But I think where it gets scary is that we give, you know, we're complicit in it because we help fund like military stuff. You know, and that's where as like a regular guy, you're like, well, I'm paying these taxes and they're going towards this, like, but you can't do anything, you know, like you can talk, you know, but it's like, you can't, I don't understand how it becomes like tough for people. Like sometimes it feels like we look out for the interests of.
This tweet from Hassan is just fucking retarded. Yeah, a Democrat wouldn't entertain having this conversation with you because you're literally a fucking terrorist, you dumb fuck. Like, imagine the career suicide you'd get yourself into if you did a podcast episode or whatever with Hassan about this issue. This guy's just a fucking idiot.
Israel before we look out for the interests of America.
So let me say a couple things. So number one, like, I think you're a great dude, so we don't always have to agree on everything. Do I think do I think it's a genocide? No. And here's the reason why I don't think it's a genocide, because I don't think that the Israelis are purposely trying to go in and murder every Palestinian. I don't think that's what they're doing. I think they got hit hard, and I think they're trying to, like, you know, sort of destroy this terrorist organization, and war is hell, and that is true. I also think it's true, man. I mean, I've seen people on my side of the political aisle. I'm a Republican. You know that, but your audience may not, who, like, will see these videos of these innocent Palestinian kids and say, oh, well, they had it coming to them. No. Like, if you have a soul, your heart should break when you see a little kid who's suffering, which is why we have the policy that we have, which is we're trying to eliminate the conflict, eliminate the source of the conflict, so that we can actually bring some peace and diplomacy. They were spending so much money all over the world. Wait, this is interesting.
Pull it up. Let's see it.
This
Let's
post
take a
is from
gander.
an account you muted. I'm curious. Who did you mute?
Who is that guy?
Is that yours? It's one of your producers.
Ian Mealy's Shank. Oh, it said Trump should be impeached and JD Vance should replace him. Dude, that's one vote.
President Trump says he assumes his relationship with Elon Musk is over. He has more serious things to do than talk to Elon. Trump warns that Musk will face serious repercussions if he finances Democrats. That's good. Protesters are now throwing rocks at cars in California. If I had a gun, I'd stop my car and shoot that fucker. Grok, explain this. The video you're referencing shows protesters in the launch. This is over the ICE raids? Oh my god, dude, fuck these people. Oh my god, just insane.
What is a Yates row? Is there any danger of tattoo ink entering the skin?
Well, tattoos can give you an infection. It's rare, but you can also get an allergic reaction to the ink. And there is some evidence that it can cause, like, an immune response. Depending on the ink you use, too, it might not be good for your body. So, yeah, there's risks with tattoos, but if you get a good tattoo, they look cool. In Frank's case, you just look like a retard. And a Yates row is when you do a bent over row, but you row from a very upright position. It hits your traps really well. Thanks for the donation, James.
Chats, they harass me in any single way you can imagine. Whether it's the Shopify chargebacks, whether it's being in my social media comments, whether it's mass reporting my stuff, getting things taken down, posting comments. Thousands and thousands of people out there. I'm convinced, and there's fairly legitimate proof, that there are hundreds to thousands of people plotting just against me. That's how crazy this has gotten. And I have filed dozens of lawsuits in the courts, and not one of them has been taken legitimately. The judge either dismisses the case.
We've seen the, so-called lawsuits that Frank files. Several times now, he filed them in the wrong court. And, he might as well, file these lawsuits in fucking crayon. He writes like a deranged retard. He'll start talking about the Illuminati and shit in these lawsuits. Just so fucking stupid.
Or they've never gone anywhere, and that's because The court system is owned by these people, and unless you're in the club, there's no legitimacy to the court system whatsoever. You're wasting your time, which is why I was posting videos about Dr. Tufano in the first place, because I had experience with lawsuits, and I know they don't get anywhere. So the only chance I had to be reimbursed for what this guy did to my face was to expose him as much as possible. There is no hiring a lawyer. If you guys have, I spoke to every single lawyer in California. Not one of them wanted to help me. Clearest medical practice case ever. Clearest damage ever. Easiest case, no brainer. They don't want to help me because I'm not in the club and they're all protecting each other. That's what it's all about. If anyone's going to try to convince you, there's
Dodo donated $2. Let me see. Well, that's too bad. Yeah. Dude. Muslims are just fucking insane.
I am also a survivor of sexual abuse, and I believe without a doubt that the circumstances that led to my abuse and allowed it to continue are directly the result of the fact that the organizations created by Congress to oversee and protect me as an athlete, USA Gymnastics, and the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee failed to do their jobs. I don't want another young gymnast, Olympic athlete, or any individual to experience the horror that I and hundreds of others have endured before, during, and continuing to this day in the wake of the Larry Nassar abuse. To be clear,
Take your time.
To be clear, I blame Larry Nassar, and I also blame an entire system that enabled and perpetrated his abuse.
Okay. Why are you sending me like
As soon as this guy spots the
videos about shit?
ant nest, he just starts eating the ants and their eggs like it's no big deal. You see, these are red weaver ants, and in parts of Thailand, they're actually considered a delicacy where people eat them whole or use them as an ingredient in traditional dishes because both the ants and their larvae are packed with protein and nutrients. As soon as
You have to be a retard to eat ants. Watch this whole vid today.
It's a very intense time in the field. We obviously
His head looks like an egg. Maybe I'll watch that later. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
it's a very intense time.
any legitimacy to the court system, to lawyers.
Elias Donatello's Shivas are such drama queens.
Pokemon gone? Oh shit! It's a weeping bell! Yo, where are...
Alright, thanks for the donation, Elias.
To whatever it is, it's all about money and control, and none of it matters. There is no truth to it whatsoever. And this lawsuit I filed today, Frank Tufano versus TikTok, the law firm that Taban hired, and Taban this is...
If Frank believed that all of these lawsuits were rigged and everything, why the fuck does he ever bother filing anything in court? Like, if he actually believed it's rigged, like, doesn't make any sense.
Is permanent damage to my online social media reputation. Nothing has gotten this crazy. So the video we made yesterday was talking about how we amended them into the current Dr. Taban lawsuit. This is a completely different lawsuit against TikTok itself. And I filed a similar complaint in the federal court a year or two ago, which to no surprise was thrown out by a judge, against TikTok themselves because they were preventing me from using the promote feature. TikTok was already shadow banning and censoring and harassing me and not allowing me to use their platform fairly. So I just talk about how TikTok is basically necessary. It's the largest social media platform of this type of short form videos. Now I'm permanently banned on the platform after having years and years of content and dozens of millions of views. And the only thing that makes the most sense is that after I was sent a cease and desist by Dr. Taban's lawyer, I was just completely wiped off the platform and banned. So we demand a jury trial, jurisdiction of where the events occurred, and the first claim for relief, I actually made a mistake. I was so tired. I copied part from another lawsuit instead. So it's supposed to be Civil Rights Act of 1964. I'm being discriminated against as a small business owner, but I accidentally left. There's a part in here that was actually another online platform. That's a mistake. So I got to remove that, amend that. The second claim for relief, the Sherman Antitrust Act, is basically that TikTok is creating this idea that they have a fair platform that everyone can use, but in reality, they're rigging it so that the billionaire corporations, the secret society business owners, the elite, those people are the ones getting all the attention. They're getting put in the algorithm. They're getting all the views. So TikTok creates this illusion, oh, it's a fair market. It's
CDG donate dollars, can you please ban all the people in chat spamming about just eat steak, eggs, crab? I didn't even... Alright, there you go. Thanks for the donation, CDG.
everyone can have their dream. Start your small business, make it big. When the reality is they're just tricking you, and it's despicable. It's absolutely despicable how they create that illusion. And TikTok's always posting, we help small businesses. We helped millions of small businesses this year. We're such good people. When the actual legitimate small businesses are getting completely, years of work completely wiped off like it's nothing. These people are pure evil, and there's no word cruel enough to describe these people. There isn't. There's literally hundreds, if not thousands of people specifically working against...
Sorry to hear you have multiple gold ball-sized tumors on your back. Feel well.
Did you know the entire Earth is $315 trillion in debt? Whoa. Yeah. What? Who do they owe money to? Bro, who are they getting money from? It blows my mind that first off, you have everything on the planet here to live for free.
You literally have everything you need.
And then you invent a system that creates a deterioration of your own resources.
You created a store of value that's literally storing less and less value every day.
Every day. And you're increasing your technology
technology, and yet somehow you still owe money to someone, and it's $315 trillion. There's not enough paper to print that much cash. What are they doing?
Dude, Earth is like the worst meme coin. It's the worst.
It got rugged.
That's pretty clever. That is autism to a whole nother fucking extreme.
Wait, no, I know her.
You
I
know
think
me?
I've seen you on TikTok.
On TikTok?
I've seen you somewhere before. No, it's not even that. I've seen her somewhere else.
I
No,
got
the
shitty
tattoo on the
eyes.
chest, bro. Everything looks like I'm telling you. No. Peach, something. Yes,
How do you
bro.
know me?
I told you! Yo! I beat my shit to you before I saw you.
Didn't that chick way long ago say she was against OnlyFans and shit, and then she ended up doing an OnlyFans because her Twitch channel kind of went down the toilet? Thanks for the donation, CDG.
It's me at this point. Just me at this point. Nothing but pure evil. And that's the only chance they have to censor and shadow ban me, because if everyone knew the truth about what's happened to me and every single detail, I'd be the richest man on this planet. And that's without dispute. Third claim for relief, refusal to deal. And this is saying how businesses can choose who they do business with, but at a certain point, there needs to be regulation. TikTok is not allowing genuine small businesses to use their platform to promote themselves and are instead favoring large corporate entities or even astroturfing, where large businesses pretend to be smaller ones under a different identity. So then we have the Federal Trade Commission Act. Bans unfair methods of competition and unfair or deceptive acts or practices. The Supreme Court has said that all violations of the Sherman Act also violate the FTC Act. TikTok has created the illusion that they are a social media platform.
There's nothing to really say about the RE9 trailer. They didn't really show enough of the story or any gameplay. The one thing in it that looked neat was it looks like you're going to return to Raccoon City after the nuclear bomb, so everything's like destroyed. But other than that, it's like, you know, a random character you've never seen, new enemy type walking down hallway, and that's it, so, you know, whatever.
Let's say Frank has to pay Paul $2.9 million on top of whatever he needs to pay Dr. Taban. Is there a possibility he will just straight up kill Paul Saladino, Dr. Taban and then himself?
I don't think he has the means to kill Paul Saladino. Like, Paul lives in Costa Rica. Frank is also a cowardly, incompetent weenie, so the idea of him assassinating somebody is kind of laughable. And I guess he could try to pay for a hitman. He'd probably get caught, like, immediately. Thanks for the donation, Mythic. Dodo, donate $2. The Denims Hasanabi interview I sent you is very good. He is the CEO of DeepMind that solved the problem of folding problem. Also, VG, do you agree that Botched by Taban would make a good horror game title and theme? Maybe. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo. Thermal Fart Cloud donated $3. That's an ancient fucking video. That was uploaded 18 years ago. Yeah, I'm quite certain this is fake. So this is a white hot thermal camera. And somehow, whatever this is pitch black, meaning it's ice cold. So I don't know how the hell a fart coming out of your ass like that could be ice cold. It's just fake. Thanks for the donation, Thermal Fart Cloud. Retard donated $2.
One of the protests underway in Los Angeles just a few hours after the mass immigration raids. Chris Christie is live.
People who live in California are fucking retarded. Like, the people who are in those protests are all scumbags, by the way. All of them.
Elected officials or these non-government organizations, they can't cross the line either. I mean, we got people like, Hakeem Jeffries saying he's going to dox ICE employees, ICE agents out there with masks on. They're wearing masks to protect themselves and their families because they've been doxxed, their families have been doxxed, their life's been threatened, their families have been threatened. I know myself, I had over 1,000 protesters at my house. I expect that as the borders are, but these men and women are putting their lives online every day. They arrested a lot of bad people yesterday and today. They arrested child sex offenders. They arrested people convicted of robbery. They arrested public safety, not only significant public safety threats, but national security threats. They arrested gang members. We're making Los Angeles safer. And Mayor Bass ought to be thanking us for making her city safer. And the term migrant, as Joe Concha rightfully said earlier, they're illegal aliens. There are illegal aliens in this country, and we welcome. We're the most giving country in the world. But these are illegal aliens who committed a crime by crossing this border illegally, then yet committed another crime. Again, yesterday's about a criminal investigation into money laundering, tax evasion, and some of the funds going to cartels in Mexico and Colombia that fund their operations of sending narcotics to this country, killing American people. This is about enforcing the law. And again, we're
All right, well, thanks for the donation, retard.
Where any user can post videos of themselves, including small businesses, to promote and advertise their services and goods. In reality, TikTok is a closely monitored system where a select amount of large wealthy corporations are using it to benefit themselves greatly, so more than the majority of the user base. Fifth claim for relief, monopoly power. TikTok has overtaken the online social media world with over $150 billion in revenue in 2024. The specific nature of the TikTok platform format being short-form videos, with many people worldwide spending hours and hours
Yes,
per day on
I've
it,
seen the fucking
give it a
ill
definite
gameplay
monopoly
trailer.
on
We
the- in the
literally
context
just
of
reacted
social
to
media
it.
platforms. There is no alternative platform of this nature that comes close to the popularity and revenue potential of TikTok. Therefore, TikTok should face outside or federal regulation in conducting fair business and market practices, specifically in preventing it becoming a platform solely for larger corporations and selected influencers to take the entire market share. Next claim is pre-complaint discovery, basically me asking for all communications between these parties, as if they would admit their secret meetings and their secret discussions. First Amendment's freedom of speech. First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution protects freedom of speech, including the right to express oneself online through platforms like TikTok. Frank Tufano has been unable to express himself freely and truthfully through this online platform. Although TikTok is a private platform that may limit its users, it is a clear monopoly that requires government intervention to ensure that all users are treated fairly and equally. A claim for relief is tortious interference. Tortious interference arises when a party's intentional actions disrupt the legally binding agreement. Frank Tufano is in an active business relationship with various social online media platforms. Lavely and Singer claimed they would contact these third-party providers to have Frank Tufano removed from using these platforms, causing irreparable harm to Frank Tufano.
I'm fairly confident Taban's lawyer didn't actually get him banned on TikTok. And if he did, he didn't do it through some sort of legal mechanism where he like filed a court order or anything. Like he may have just submitted some sort of privacy complaint or something. And then they just took it down for him. If Frank wanted his TikTok account back, he'd probably have to sue TikTok. And it's extremely, extremely rare that somebody's social media account can get taken down just because a lawyer asks for it. Like with the Paul Saladino lawsuit that Frank's involved in, Paul got a court order demanding Frank take down the videos that he made of him, and he couldn't go to YouTube directly. He had to ask Frank to do it. And if Frank didn't do it, he could hold him in contempt of court, and then Frank would go to jail or have to pay a fine or something. But I don't know where Frank is getting the idea that Taban was able to just ban his TikTok account. And I don't even understand how you could sue Taban over that. Like, you'd need to sue TikTok because it's their platform. Taban doesn't own TikTok, so I don't know how you could blame him for anything. Yeah, this is probably just another one of Frank's bad ideas. Just dumb peanut head moron. Wasting his time.
Business and personal being. Basically, they lie. That's the biggest tool of these secret society degenerates. Every single word that comes out of their mouth is a lie. And this law firm lied to TikTok. These people that reported me lied in order to harm me intentionally. Ninth claim for relief, civil conspiracy. Conspiracy occurs when two or more people agree to do something unlawful that harms a third party. I mean, it's so fucking disgustingly clear what these people have done to me. Request for temporary restraining order. Little too late for that. Restraining order against the law firm from getting my social media accounts taken down. And then we just ask a claim for, at this point, it's probably $15 million in damages for what they did to me in regards to potential sales over the next however many years. So this kind of gets me wondering if Taban's actually trying to delete evidence, because I have fairly well documented what this guy has done to me over the past 2 years, and if my TikTok being taken down is a huge deletion of medical malpractice evidence. And if he was to do the same thing with other social media platforms, he's basically deleting evidence. But I mean, I'm guessing that's not too much of an issue, because if we get a court subpoena and YouTube deleted those videos or TikTok deleted those videos, they're going to have to furnish them. I mean, I have most videos saved, but not really the TikTok ones, the YouTube ones. So
yeah, he still hasn't really explained why he's convinced Taban was responsible for getting his TikTok account taken down. Again, it doesn't make sense to go after Taban or his lawyer for this when they don't own TikTok. Frank looks like some cartoon villain. He looks like somebody who tried to audition for Goodfellas. Just looks fucking stupid. I don't understand what's going on with the tattoos, like why he's so motivated to get these horrendous, just ugly as fuck, stupid looking tattoos.
if you guys can just help me and support me as much in any way possible. We have the flyers and business cards, and I'm working on...
Oh yeah, you know, he kind of does look like Jared Leto's Joker. Yeah, he has all the stupid tattoos on already, but if you, like, green his hair and shit...
There's only one solution to Frank's problems: plastic surgery. Maybe someone should suggest that to him. All problems will vanish.
Yeah, he needs to get plastic surgery on his brain. Somebody should convince him to get a brain makeover. Love to see him get a botched brain surgery. Fucking retarded jackass. Thanks for the donation though, Jason. Yeah, dude, he looks so much like Jared Leto's Joker. Yeah, nice, clownish.
I'm going through emails and getting people to hand out this content to try to just get as much help as possible. The saddest part is all these other online influencers. All of them. I mean, anyone in the health and nutrition space has been...
Oh. I didn't even realize... Yeah, I thought you donated like $2.50. You donated $2.50. Holy shit, thanks for the big donation, dude. Oh, and I'm tired as fuck, and I have an astigmatism, so I don't notice certain things, okay? Give me a fucking break, Dodo, but thanks for the donation, Dodo. I'm always grateful for people who donate. You know that. I just didn't realize he donated that big amount. Thanks again, Jason, and thanks, Dodo.
Basically copied half my videos, so they know who I am. And I'm popular enough that there's hundreds, if not thousands, of social media influencers that know who I am. And not one of them has said a word, because they're all in the club and they care more about their own pathetic lives than helping someone else. They care more about what's going to happen to them. Really? Maybe one day this will happen to you, and maybe you'll wish you would have stuck up for someone else for once. Because I'm here attempting to stick up for the people that this Dr. Butcher
What does he mean, one day this might happen to you? Who in the fuck is paying $30,000 for cosmetic surgery on their fucking eyeballs so that their eyes something look less tired? Like, that's basically what he did. He found some eye surgery where he thought his eyes would look less tired. And he paid $30,000 for this guy to fuck up his face. Who the hell else is gonna do that? Yeah, I used to have glasses. I think I got them when I was like 19 or 20. And I had them for at least like... would have been at least 6 years. And then I remember I got pissed off at my computer because it kept crashing or something. And I got so mad I smashed my glasses, and I never bothered to go to an optometrist again and get my prescription updated and get a new pair. So the astigmatism isn't that bad, especially if I'm looking up. It's not that noticeable, and like everything becomes sharper. If I look down, it's more blurry. But even still, like, as long as I focus on stuff, I can read just fine. It's just if text is really, really small, and especially if it has like a certain color or something, then it can be a bit hard to read. Why do I feel like I saw you with glasses on an old video or stream like 10 years ago? Yeah, that's probably when I had the glasses still. So I would have been around 25 years old then? Or 24? So yeah, that would have been when I had the glasses.
The hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. And who knows how many of those people killed themselves? Who knows how many of those people lost their jobs? I know for a fact dozens and dozens of them are severely depressed and basically...
Why is Frank blaming Tufano? If you get orbital decompression while having no Graves' disease, it's your own fault for getting botched. If I get jaw surgery while having average, I will end up with monkey jaw. It's your own fault. Frank 100% pressures to ban to it.
Since Frank is a retarded liar, he may have pressured Tufano to do it. Like, the guy might have told him, you're not a good candidate for the procedure, don't really feel comfortable doing it. There's like, you know, reasonably high risk of complication for what's likely little benefit since you look fine already. Like, I could imagine a plastic surgeon telling Frank something like that, and then Frank was like, no, I insist, I'll spend extra money so that you do it, and I looked into it. Like, who knows? Who knows? But thanks for the donation, Blake.
just don't do anything all day. I stuck up for those people, and look what's happening to me. I just don't understand what these people think's going to happen. I just don't understand. It wouldn't take me more than a year or two to make the entire population of Los Angeles aware of what happened to my face.
Yes, Resident Evil is better than Silent Hill. Silent Hill fans are fucking retarded degenerates.
Mike bro, I think people are biting at the bit to pay $30K to have their eyeballs cut open for no reason. It sure does sound amazing to me.
Well, thanks for the big donation again, Jason. Really appreciate that, man. Yeah, you know, I've always wanted surgery to, one, go blind. And I was also looking into the surgery where they could mutilate my genitals so that they're in constant pain and don't function anymore. That was another one that I was looking into. It's only $80,000, which, considering, you know, you'll be blind and have your genitals mutilated and be in constant pain, that's not too bad. So maybe we should donate money to Frank so that he gets that procedure. Thanks for the donation, though, Jason. Appreciate it.
You can hand out a lot of flyers.
Yeah, dude, Silent Hill sucks. I played Silent Hill 1. Like, it's kind of before my time. It's, well, sort of. Like, it's a PlayStation game. I never played PlayStation when I was a kid. I always had an N64, so never played any PlayStation games. They're very different than N64 games. They're a bit more primitive and weird. Didn't really like Silent Hill 1. Thought some of the story was a bit interesting, but it was just tedious. You're basically just running around from area to area to area, looking for key here, open door, look for another key, open door. And then I played 2. Oh my fucking god. Silent Hill 2 is one of the most dumb shit, retard, fuckface, dickhead, asshole, bitch, dick, fuck shit, ass fucking games I've ever played. It is so insanely monotonous. You are literally doing nothing the entire fucking game, but looking for a key to open a door, to find another key, to open another door, to find another key, to open another door, to find another key that'll open the door to a puzzle room that requires you to find another key that opens another door, that opens another key, that opens another door, to get the key to open the second lock on the puzzle, and then the second lock on the puzzle gives you a key to open another door, to find another key, to open another door, to finally find the key for the third fucking key in the puzzle hole, and then the level's over and you do it all again. I fucking hated that game. Oh my god, it was so bad. Like people are genuinely fucking retarded. I don't know why Silent Hill has any fans. Like, you're insane if you like Silent Hill 2. Like genuinely fucking crazy. So yeah, Resident Evil is better than Silent Hill.
In a day, and there's a lot of days in a year. All I'd have to do is make sure a few 100,000 people saw it, and then I would imagine the entire plastic surgery community in Los Angeles, Beverly Hills, 90210 would lose, what? At least hundreds of millions of dollars? So this doesn't make sense to me. This doesn't make sense to me. There's no scenario where they come out on top. There's no scenario. The funniest part about it is they were saying, oh, Frank, we took down your TikTok. Your warehouse is next. My warehouse is next? Do you know what I do here all day? Walking around Los Angeles handing out flyers is going to be a vacation. And I'm going to have the biggest smile on my face where I know that every single piece of paper I hand out, minus $10,000, minus $10,000. Surgeon loses $10,000. Surgeon loses $10,000. I'm going to be fucking laughing. All of these doctors are pathetic. All of these judges are pathetic. All of these influencers are pathetic.
Frank is genuinely losing his fucking mind. He has uploaded the same exact video 3 times now. Makes a video going over the letter the lawyer sent him. Makes another video going over the letter the lawyer sent him. Makes another video. Same thing. And, like, on top of that, he has the shorts that he uploaded too. Saying the same thing over and over and over again. Like, he's just fucking unhinged.
Frank fell for the Hunter Ice Quinty feline eye meme, and that's why he wanted the surgery while having no Graves' disease. He got gaslight on LooksMax forums, haha.
Dude. Why would you get jaw surgery if you look fine? And go to Brazil to get it, of all places? Is this real? This seems like a Photoshop job. There are people who are seriously fucking mentally ill who should never ever be allowed to get cosmetic surgery. Like, they have no ability to... They don't know what they look like, and they don't understand the risks of cosmetic surgery. That's fucked. Thanks for the donation, Blake.
Silent Hill 2 is one of those games that heavily relies on atmosphere and horror to provide most of the entertainment. Some of the level design and monster designs are cool, but the story is so inadequate in my opinion. It's too vague and abstract.
Like, there's spots in the game where, yeah, there's a creepy atmosphere, but it's ruined by how fucking annoying the game is. Like, when you're just running around like a fucking dickhead looking for a fucking key to open a door, to open another door, to find a key, like... The game just feels like a fucking joke. It's just nonsense. And there's literally no story. You're doing random shit for no fucking reason, and then at the end of the game, I don't care about spoiling this. It's a shit game. Don't play it anyway. You find out that you killed your wife and you're in Silent Hill because you feel guilty, and all the bullshit you saw was like some weird mindfuck about your guilt and it being internalized or some gay shit. Okay, so you killed your dumb bitch wife. She was gonna die anyway. She had cancer and she was fucking annoying you. Like, really? You're that much of a fucking gay retard that you feel bad about killing your retarded, annoying wife who was gonna die anyway of cancer? And then, for no reason, you put yourself through that? Like, fuck you. That game's just so fucking stupid. Thanks for the donation, though. I'm fucking bored.
At this point, I don't know what's stopping Frank from finally losing his sanity and going on a killing spree.
I don't think he's the type of person to lash out in that sort of way. He's too much of a Weenie Hut Jr. If anything, he'd probably be more likely to harm himself. So I could see Frank swallowing a bottle of pills or something, but I don't see him going on a killing spree. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo. CDG donate $2. Why do looks maxers want to look like Neanderthals? His jaw sticks out 3 inches past his forehead. Lol, what the fuck? I don't think that was his intention with the surgery. But, the guy looked fine before. I don't know why the hell the guy thought he needed jaw surgery. Like, if anything, he should have just gone to the gym, worked out, ate better, like, you know, that sort of thing. Like, why, of all things, jaw surgery? Thanks for the donation, though, CDG. Dodo,
Then how did garbage like Silent Hill or its sequel get good reviews?
Because people are dumbasses. Like, I mean, there's shit movies that get good reviews. So, yeah, there's people who listen to shit music, watch shit movies, all kinds of shit. There's people who literally like shit. You know, you can find poop fetish videos. Some people like eating shit. Unironically. Like literal shit. So there's people who just like terrible games. Like, you know, Silent Hill, where you just run around doing nothing and there's a shit story. Some people like eating shit. Thanks for the donation there, Dodo.
Pull up NavTech.
Just a sec. Got it.
Taki. We gonna find out about your Kopang right quick, okay?
Just want to do him justice.
Oh, this is a series, not a game. Oh. It's a cat.
Would you ever consider playing the game The Suffering from 2004? I am sure you could find a free download on somewhere, but I couldn't find it on Steam. Amazon is selling a physical copies. I can send you gameplay links if you want.
I'm not really interested in playing that. It's not that good. I remember playing it back in the day when it was new. Even back then, the shooting mechanics felt very awkward and stiff. Not great. So I just didn't really like it. And the story is just, you know, it's there. There is actually a PS2 game that I do want to play through. What's it called again? It's where you have psychic powers or some shit. Second Sight. Yeah, I did want to play through Second Sight. Thanks for the donation, though, Axel. Oh my god.
What? What? Are you hungry?
Oh.
I respectfully disagree with your argument that housing market shouldn't be socialized because Soviet Union when it's done good, like in capital Vienna of Austria, you have nice affordable houses with pools, indoor gyms, etc. that look nice.
Whenever you have public housing projects in the United States, they are way more expensive and take way more time to build. So if they're more expensive to build and they take more time to build and they're completely and utterly ineffective and inefficient for creating affordable housing, why would you do it?
Will, that certainly explains why people like trash like 2001: A Space Odyssey, Jurassic Park, Beauty and the Beast, Mad Max Fury Road and all 4 of the Avengers movies.
I don't think Mad Max was a bad movie. I don't think 2001: A Space Odyssey was bad either. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo, and thanks for the donation, Omni-Man.
Wow, look who it is. Still hosting the most boring ass streams on YouTube. Heard you won the Streamy Award for most boring and most psychotic streamer. Guess you should have kept me as your marketing manager, you fucking retard.
Well, I'm eating watermelon right now. That's exciting. I'm almost done all of it, too. There, finished all my watermelon. Now I'm gonna have some nicotine and probably fall asleep. I don't know how you could call that boring. Thanks for the donation, IMA Niagara.
A chick I'm dating told me that she met 3 guys from Tinder so far, and with the 3rd guy she had a friends with benefits for a couple years. This kinda made me jealous, because I don't have much experience myself. How do I cope with her sexual history?
You break up with her. So, yeah, if it makes you feel uncomfortable, break up with her. By the way, I don't know what the nature of, like, how that topic got brought up, but that's really, really fucking weird that she'd even mention that. Sounds to me like she was trying to deliberately make you feel insecure, so I'd break up with her. Yeah, that chick sounds like trouble. Probably a better idea to just break up. But girls generally try to hide that sort of shit. She probably knew it would make you feel uncomfortable and jealous and shit, so I wouldn't deal with a girl who would play those games. Just break up with her. Find some new bitch. Thanks for the donation, though. Maybe not so stoic.
When you said you were really thinking about playing a game, I was really hoping you were going to say FEAR. I think that is one of the best shooters to ever come out. Now I am disappointed. Ha ha ha, oh well.
I'll put Fear on the list for games that I gotta stream. Could definitely do that. Thanks for the donation, though, Axel. Appreciate it. Fear was really good.
Oven Spec King of Trash. Let's not forget In Stout and its sequel Spurted Ori and finally Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Dragonflies bite or sting. Dragonflies, with a 95% hunting success rate, are the apex predators of the insect world due to their evolved eyesight and flight adaptations. There are about 3,000 species globally, present on every continent except Antarctica. Dragonflies don't sting but can bite if threatened, though this is rare. They prefer avoiding...
I've never been bitten by a dragonfly.
humans and will only bite if they feel extremely scared. Their bites are not venomous and usually not painful. If bitten, clean the area with alcohol and apply a band-aid if needed. No professional medical treatment is necessary.
In the field. We obviously want all of the brilliant things these AI systems can do, come up with new cures for diseases, new energy sources, incredible things for humanity. That's the promise of AI. But also there are worries if the first AI systems are built with the wrong value systems or they're built unsafely, that could be also very bad.
Wired sat down with Demis Hassabis, who's the CEO of Google DeepMind, which is the engine of the company's artificial intelligence. He's a Nobel Prize winner and also a knight. We discussed AGI, the future of work, and how Google plans to compete in the age of AI. This is the big interview. Well, welcome to the big interview.
Bro, this guy is not a knight. Oh my god, get fucked. Okay, face me in a duel then if you're a knight. Huh? You wanna have a fucking sword duel, Mr. Egghead Knight? Sir Balds-a-lot? Sir Eyes of Four? Yeah, this guy's not a knight. He's just a fucking dork.
Thank you, Demis.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So let's start talking about AGI a little here. Now, you founded DeepMind with the idea...
I know, right? Also felt like she was testing me, but she mentioned it in the context that she wasn't ready for a relationship after her breakup. I'm actually more bothered by the fact that she mentioned it so casually, but in FWB makes me feel weird-eyed.
Yeah, she's just fucking with you, trying to make you feel insecure and shit. Just don't bother with that bitch. You know, just find some chick who isn't jackass. And then you'll be good. Thanks for the donation, though. Maybe not so stoic.
You would solve intelligence and then use intelligence to solve everything else. And I think it was like a 20-year mission. We're like 15 years into it, and you're on track.
I feel like, yeah, we're pretty much dead on track, actually, as what would be our estimate.
That means 5 years away from, what I guess people will call AGI.
Yeah, I think in the next 5 to 10 years, that would be my, maybe 50% chance that we'll have what we define as AGI, yes.
Well, some of your peers are saying 2 years, 3 years, others say a little more, but that's really close. That's really soon. How do we know that we're that close?
There's a bit of a debate going on at the moment in the field about definitions of AGI, and then, of course, dependent on that, there's different predictions.
I took your advice from yesterday on adding a bit of fat to starch, and it seems to have fixed the satiety problem. Do you know why so many plant-based doctors like McDougall are against oil or fat in general? I have no idea how anyone feels full like that.
McDougall explicitly stated the reason he has that recommendation is because he deals with glutton fat fuck clients all the time, who, if you tell them, yeah, it's okay to sprinkle a little bit of olive oil on your salad, or yeah, you can have some like nuts here for a snack, they're just going to end up overeating. And then like after you tell them, yeah, just a tablespoon of olive oil, they're just going to dunk a whole thing of olive oil onto their food and then, gain weight like crazy. So he explicitly stated it's because he found personally with the clients he works with, it just prevents them from overeating. But yeah, normal people should definitely consume like some amount of fat. I've definitely experienced like if I have no fat in my fucking diet, I definitely don't feel full in the right way. Like I can feel stuffed in my stomach, but I don't feel satisfied. So I need like some, some fat. But thanks for the donation username.
For when it will happen. We've been pretty consistent from the very beginning, and actually Shane Legg, one of my co-founders and our chief scientist, he helped define the term AGI back in, I think, early, 2000.
Oh my God. Did you see that?
Shane Legg, one of my co-founders and our...
Oh my God, this guy looks like a dork. Wow, what a turbo nerd.
Chief scientist, he helped define the term AGI back in, I think, early, 2001 type of time frame. And we've always thought about it as, a system that has the ability to exhibit sort of all the cognitive capabilities we have as humans. And the reason that's important, the reference to the human mind, is the human mind is the only existence proof we have, maybe in the universe, that general intelligence is possible. So if you want to claim sort of general intelligence, AGI, then you need to show that it generalizes to all these domains.
Is when everything's filled in, all the check marks?
Oh, that's hilarious. This guy's saying he has general intelligence. How much do you bench press, dumbass? If you're so smart, you should be able to pick up a fucking weight, right? Fucking idiot. Stupid fucking nerd can't even lift weights even though he says he's so smart.
Are filled in, then when we have it,
yes. So I think there are missing capabilities right now. That all of us who've used the latest sort of LLMs and chatbots will know very well, like on reasoning, on planning, on memory. I don't think today's systems can invent, true invention, true creativity, hypothesize new scientific theories. They're extremely useful, they're impressive, but they have holes. And actually, one of the main reasons I don't think we're at AGI yet is because of the consistency of responses. In some domains, we have systems that can do international maths Olympiad maths problems, to gold medal standard with our alpha proof system. But on the other hand, these systems sometimes still trip up on high school maths or even counting the number of letters in a word. So that to me is not what you would expect. That level of sort of difference in performance across the board is not consistent enough, and therefore shows that these systems are not fully generalizing yet.
But when we get it, is it then like a phase shift that, then all of a sudden things are different? All the check marks are checked, and we have a thing that can do everything. Are we then pow in a new world?
I think, again, that is debated, and it's not clear to me whether it's going to be more of a kind of incremental transition versus a step function. My guess is it looks like it's going to be more of an incremental shift. Even if you had a system like that, the physical world still operates with the physical laws, factories, robots, these other things. So it'll take a while for the effects of that, this sort of digital intelligence, if you like, to really impact, I think, a lot of the real world things. Maybe another, decade plus. But there's other theories on that too where it could come faster.
Yeah, Eric Schmidt, who I think used to work at Google, has said that it's almost like a binary thing. He says that if China, for instance, gets AGI, then we're cooked, because if someone gets it like 10 minutes before the next guy, then you can never catch up, because then it'll maintain bigger leads there. You don't buy that, I guess.
I think it's an unknown. It's one of the many unknowns, which is that, that's sometimes called the hard takeoff scenario, where, the idea there is that these AGI systems, they're able to self-improve, maybe code themselves, future versions themselves, that maybe they're extremely fast at doing that. So what would be a slight lead, let's say, a few days, could suddenly become a chasm if that was true. But there are many other ways it could go too, where it's more incremental. Some of these self-improvement things are not able to kind of accelerate in that way. Then, being around the same time would not make much difference. But it's important. I mean, these issues, the geopolitical issues, I think the systems that are being built, they'll have some imprint of the values and the kind of norms of the designers and the culture that they were embedded in. So, I think that it is important, these kinds of international questions.
So when you build AI at Google, do you have that in mind? Do you feel competitive imperative to, in case that's true, oh my God, we better be first?
It's a very intense time at the moment in the field, as everyone knows. So many resources going into it, lots of pressures, lots of things that need to be researched. And there's sort of lots of different types of pressures going on. We obviously want all of the brilliant things that these AI systems can do. I think eventually we'll be able to advance medicine and science with it, like we've done with AlphaFold, come up with new cures for diseases, new energy sources, incredible things for humanity. That's the promise of AI. But also there are worries, both in terms of, if the first AI systems are built with the wrong value systems, or they're built unsafely, that could be also very bad. And, there are at least two risks that I worry a lot about. One is bad actors, whether it's individuals or rogue nations, repurposing general purpose AI technology for harmful ends. And then the second one is obviously the technical risk of AI itself. As it gets more and more powerful, more and more agentic, can we make sure the guardrails are safe around it? They can't be circumvented. And that interacts with this idea of, what are the first systems that are built by humanity going to be like? There's commercial imperative, there's national imperative, and there's a safety aspect to worry about, who's in the lead and where those projects are.
A few years ago, the companies were saying, please regulate us. We need regulation. And now, in the US at least, the current administration seems less interested in putting regulations on AI than accelerating it so we can beat the Chinese. Are you still asking for regulation? Do you think that's a miss on our part?
I think, and I've been consistent in this, I think there are these, other geopolitical sort of overlays that have to be taken into account, and the world's a very different place to, how it was 5 years ago in many dimensions. But there's also, I think the idea of smart regulation that makes sense around these increasingly powerful systems, I think is going to be important. I continue to believe that. I think, though, and I've been consistent on this as well, it sort of needs to be international, which looks hard at the moment in the way the world is working, because these systems, they're going to affect everyone, and they're digital systems. So, if you sort of restrict it in one area, that doesn't really help in terms of the overall safety of these systems getting built, for the world and as a society. So that's the bigger problem, I think, is some kind of international cooperation or collaboration, I think is what's required. And then smart regulation, nimble regulation that moves as the knowledge about the research becomes, better and better.
Would it ever reach a point for you where you would feel, man, we're not putting the guardrails in, we're competing, that we really have to stop, or you can't get involved in that?
I think a lot of the leaders of the main labs, at least the Western labs, there's a small number of them, and we do all know each other and talk to each other regularly, and a lot of the lead researchers do. The problem is that it's not clear we have the right definitions to agree when that point is. Like today's systems, although they're impressive, as we discussed earlier, they're also very flawed, and I don't think today's systems are posing any sort of existential risk. But so it's still theoretical. But the problem is there are a lot of unknowns. We don't know how fast those will come, and we don't know how risky they will be. But it might.
That was really weird. I was falling asleep, and I heard some woman yelling at me saying, "Richard, wake up. Richard, wake up." Haven't played Mortal Kombat in a while. Mortal Kombat 1 sucked. So, haven't played Mortal Kombat in a while. Oh, man. This is bad.
TBH, maybe I did put this upon myself, because we met over a dating app and I asked if she met someone from the app before, and then she mentioned just a bit, and I asked why she deleted Tinder shortly after, and she mentioned the year-long FWB.
Yeah, I'd still break up with her. She shouldn't have said anything. So, yeah. I think the best course of action would be to break up with her. Thanks for the donation, though. Not so stoic. I just dozed off and I had another weird, like, micro dream. I just dreamt that I was in Israel and these ascetic Jews were showing me a technology they were developing that would allow you to telepathically communicate with cats so that the cats can, like, hang around terrorists or something, and the terrorists will think, oh, it's just a cat. And then the cat will report back to you and then communicate what it learned from the terrorists. Really weird.
My view, when there are so many unknowns, then I'm optimistic we'll overcome them. At least technically, I think the geopolitical questions could actually end up being trickier, given enough time and enough care and thoughtfulness, sort of using the scientific method as we approach this AGI point.
That makes perfect sense. But on the other hand, if that time frame is there, we just don't have much time.
No, we don't. We don't have much time. I mean, we're increasingly putting resources into security and things like cyber, and also research into controllability and understanding of these systems, sometimes called mechanistic interpretability. There's a lot of different sub-branches of AI that are being invested in, and I think even more needs to happen. And then at the same time, we need to also have societal debates more about institutional building, how do we want governance to work, how are we going to get international agreement, at least on some basic principles around how these systems are used and deployed and also built.
What about the effect on work, on the marketplace? How much do you feel that AI is going to change people's jobs? Could be jobs distributed in the workforce.
I don't think we've seen, my view is if you talk to economists, they feel like there's not much has changed yet. People are finding these tools useful, certainly in certain domains like things like AlphaFold. Many scientists are using it to accelerate their work. So it seems to be additive at the moment. We'll see what happens over the next 5-10 years. I think there's going to be a lot of change with the jobs world, but I think as in the past,
Did Jasmine ever told you about her exes or sexual past? And if she didn't, would you have ended it even sooner with her if she mentioned any of that? Is it a deal breaker for you or you don't care?
Well, she didn't have any remarkable stories or anything. She didn't really share all that much. So, nothing she said was like a deal breaker. Thanks for the donation though, Sokiyashi.
Oh, how I wish we had cats like that in real life. We could use them to nail hammers to the wall.
I wish I could just telepathically communicate with cats because I'd just like to do that. But yeah, killing terrorists would be like a good bonus. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Don't worry, Lois. We'll hide in the one place they can't find us. In Imagination Land, where you burp where you fart, and you fart where you burp. Indeed, that's how it happens.
Happen is new jobs are created that are actually better, that utilize these tools or new technologies. What happened with the internet, what happened with mobile. We'll see if it's different this time. Obviously, everyone always thinks this new one will be different, and maybe it will be. But I think for the next few years, it's most likely to be, we'll have these incredible tools that supercharge our productivity, make us, really useful for creative tools, and actually almost make us a little bit superhuman in some ways in what we're able to produce individually. So I think there's going to be a kind of golden era of the next period of what we're able to do.
Well, if AGI can do everything humans can do, then it would seem that they could do the new jobs too.
That's the next question about like what AGI brings. But even if you have those capabilities, there's a lot of things I think we won't want to do with a machine. I sometimes give this example of doctors and nurses. Maybe a doctor and what the doctor does and the diagnosis. One could imagine that being helped by an AI tool or even having an AI kind of doctor. On the other hand, like nursing, I don't think you'd want a robot to do that. I think there's something about the human empathy aspect of that and the care and so on that's particularly humanistic. I think there's lots of examples like that but it's going to be a different world for sure.
If you would talk to a graduate now, what advice would you give to keep working through the course of a lifetime, in the age of AGI?
My view is currently, and of course this is changing all the time with the technology developing, but right now, if you think of the next 5-10 years as being the most productive people might be 10x more productive if they are native with these tools. So I think kids today, students today, my encouragement would be immerse yourself in these new systems, understand them. So I think it's still important to study STEM and programming and other things so that you understand how they're built. Maybe you can modify them yourself on top of the models that are available. There's lots of great open source models and so on. And then become, incredible at things like fine tuning, system prompting, system instructions, all of these additional things that anyone can do, and really know how to get the most out of those tools and do it for your research work, programming, things that you're doing on your course, and then come out of that being incredible at utilizing and those new tools for whatever it is you're going to do.
Let's look a little beyond the 5 and 10 year range. Tell me what you envision when you look at our future in 20 years and in 30 years, if this comes about. What's the world like when AGI is everywhere?
Well, if everything goes well, then we should be in an era of what I like to call sort of radical abundance. So, AGI solves some of these key, what I sometimes call root node problems in the world facing society. So good examples would be curing diseases, much healthier, longer lifespans, finding new energy sources, whether that's optimal batteries and better room temperature superconductors, fusion. And then if that all happens, then, it should be a kind of era of maximum human flourishing where we travel to the stars and colonize the galaxy. That's I think the beginning of that will happen in the next 20, 30 years if the next period goes well.
I'm a little skeptical of that. I think we have an unbelievable abundance now, but we don't distribute it fairly. I think that we kind of know how to fix climate change, right? We don't need an AGI to tell us how to do it, yet we're not doing it.
I agree with that. I think we've been, as a species, a society, not good at collaborating, and I think climate is a good example. But I think humans are still operating in a zero-sum game mentality, because actually the Earth is quite finite relative to the amount of people there are now and our cities. And I mean, this is why our natural habitats are being destroyed, and it's affecting wildlife and the climate and everything. And it's also partly because people are not willing to accept. We do now to figure out climate, but it would require people to make sacrifices, and people don't want to. But this radical abundance would be different. We would be finally, like, it would feel like a non-zero sum game.
How would we get Jordan into that? Like you talk about diseases.
I'll give you an example.
We have vaccines, and now people some people think we should use
Let me give you a very simple example.
Sure.
Water access. This is going to be a huge issue in the next 10, 20 years. It's already an issue. Countries and different, poor parts of the world, dry parts of the world, also obviously compounded by climate change. We have a solution to water access. It's desalination. It's easy. There's plenty of seawater. Almost all countries have a coastline, but the problem is it's salty water. But desalination, only very rich countries, some countries do that, use desalination as a solution to their freshwater problem, but it costs a lot of energy. But if energy was essentially zero, there was renewable, free, clean energy, right, like fusion, suddenly you solve the water access problem. Water is, who controls the river or what you do with that it becomes, much less important than it is today. I think things like water access, if you roll forward 20 years and there isn't a solution like that, could lead to all sorts of conflicts, probably. That's the way it's trending, especially if you include further climate change. And there's many, many examples like that. You could create rocket fuel easily because you just separate that from seawater, hydrogen and oxygen. It's just energy again.
So you feel that these problems get solved by AGI, by AI, then our outlook will change, and we will be
that's what I hope. Yes, that's what I hope, but that's still a secondary part. So the AGI will give us the radical abundance capability, technically, like the water access. Yeah. I then hope, and this is why I think we need some great philosophers or social scientists to be involved, that should hopefully shift our mindset as a society to non-zero sum. There's still the issue of do you divide even the radical abundance fairly, right? Of course, that's what should happen. But I think it's much more likely once people start feeling and understanding that there is this almost limitless supply of raw materials and energy and things like that.
Do you think that, driving this innovation by profit-making companies is the right way to go? We're most likely to reach that optimistic high point through that?
I think it's the current, capitalism or, is the current or the Western sort of democratic kind of, systems have so far been proven to be sort of the best drivers of progress. So I think that's true. My view is that once you get to that sort of stage of radical abundance and post-AGI, I think economics starts changing, even the notion of value and money. And so again, I think we need, I'm not sure why economists are not working harder on this if maybe they don't believe it's that close, right? But if they really did, that like the AGI scientists do, then I think there's a lot of new economic theory that's required.
One final thing, I actually agree with you that this is so significant and it's going to have a huge impact. But when I write about it, I always get a lot of response from people who are really angry already about artificial intelligence and what's happening. Have you tasted that? Have you gotten that pushback and anger by a lot of people? It's almost like the Industrial Revolution. People
I mean, I think that anytime there's, I haven't personally seen a lot of that, but obviously I've read and heard a lot about it. It's very understandable. That's happened many times. As you say, Industrial Revolution, when there's big change, a big revolution, and I think this will be at least as big as the Industrial Revolution, probably a lot bigger. That's surprising. There's unknowns. It's scary. Things will change. But on the other hand, when I talk to people about the passion of why I'm building AI, which is to advance science and medicine and understanding of the world around us, and then I explain to people, and I've demonstrated, it's not just talk. Here's AlphaFold, Nobel Prize winning breakthrough, can help with medicine and drug discovery. Obviously, we're doing this with isomorphic now to extend it into drug discovery, and we can cure diseases, terrible diseases that might be afflicting your family. Suddenly, people are like, well, that's of course we need that. It would be immoral not to have that if that's within our grasp. And the same with climate and energy. Many of the big societal problems. It's not like we know we've talked about. There's many big challenges facing society today, and I often say I would be very worried about our future if I didn't know something as revolutionary as AI was coming down the line to help with those other challenges. Of course, it's also a challenge itself, right? But at least it's one of these challenges that can actually help with the others if we get it right.
Well, I hope your optimism holds out and is
Damn,
justified.
this shit is boring and gay. Ashi is a retarded grift for venture capital investment on the same level of colonizing Mars.
I don't think you can compare him to Musk, but his head is shaped like an egg. Thanks for the donation, retard. I'm gonna take a nap now.
Sneed. 777 quarter-vigintillion 777 trevigintillion 777 duovigintillion 777 unvigintillion 777 vigintillion 777 novemdecillion 777 octodecillion 777 septendecillion 777 sexdecillion 777 quindecillion 777 quatuordecillion 777 tridecillion 777 duodecillion 777 undecillion 777 decillion 777 nonillion 777 octillion 777 septillion 777 sextillion 777 quintillion 777 quadrillion 777 trillion 777 billion 777 million 777,777 Sneed. 777 quarter-vigintillion 777 trevigintillion 777 duovigintillion 777 unvigintillion 777 vigintillion 777 novemdecillion 777 octodecillion 777 septendecillion 777 sexdecillion 777 quindecillion 777 quatuordecillion 777 tridecillion 777 duodecillion 777 undecillion 777 decillion 777 nonillion 777 octillion 777 septillion 777 sextillion 777 quintillion 777 quadrillion 777 trillion 777 billion 777 million 777,777 Faggot. 7 7 7 7 7 7 7 7 Richard, wake up. Richard, wake up. You have to stream. We need to have money to feed the animals. Dude, you've been sleeping for 16 hours straight. You need to stream and make money. I don't want to stream because your viewers hate me and make fun of me. 7/8 asterisk asterisk LLLLLLLLLLLL 7777777777777 inverted exclamation mark 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 slash 7/8 asterisk asterisk LLLLLLLLLLL 7777777777777 inverted exclamation mark 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 slash niggernog slash inverted exclamation mark 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 inverted question 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 mark. Sneed. inverted exclamation mark 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 inverted exclamation exclamation mark inverted 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 exclamation marks need rules. Richard rules. LLLLLLLLLLLLLLLL. I'm promoting DurianRider.com. I need everyone here to buy his ebook Carb the Fuck Up on DurianRider.com or buy it on Amazon. DurianRider.com. Learn the truth about vegan gains bloat diet and Durian Rider's lean shredded abs diet. Durian Rider Jasmine Anal. Bad news: VG collage campuses are fighting tooth and nail to prevent the pro-Plastane students from being expelled. People are spamming Durian Rider in chat. 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 Aaron is spamming Durian Rider in chat. Why does Aaron look like his parents are cousins? Inbred.
Alright, thanks for warning me. Jackass.
Free Palestine. 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 Free Palestine.
Jesus.
Yes, need free plastine from Hamas.
Yeah. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Can you at least play my video while you sleep?
No, that's just way too risky. I'm sorry. Thanks for the donation, dude.
Just trying to wake this ig up, inverted exclamation mark, 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 inverted exclamation mark 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 inverted exclamation exclamation mark inverted 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 exclamation mark. When you have a chance to open it. Tyler is spamming Durian Rider in chat. Tyler is spamming Durian Rider in chat. Tyler is spamming Durian Rider in chat. DurianRider.com 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 Subscribe. Durian Rider 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 Durian R. Nigga Durian Rider 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 Nigga. Durian Rider but fuck Jasmine while Vegan Gains watched in the corner, crying the whole If I spam nigga does your stream get taken down? Nigga? 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 Nigga?
Fuck no, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
Vinegar 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 vin.
Thanks. Thanks for the donation, dude.
banana emoji, 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 banana emoji. Banana emoji, 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 banana emoji. Banana emoji, 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 banana emoji. Banana emoji, 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 snowman emoji, Sneed. Hey bud, just checking in on you, Durian Rider here. It's Durian Rider. Lean. Shredded durians. Shredded coconut durian. Durian Rider. What's your favorite type of durian, nigga? Nigga spam, nigga 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 Durian Rider, nigga durian nigga. Lol motorfucker, if I gonna sleep, can you at least put on a fire or some sort of ambient sound? Here's a virtual fire video. Lol, I think your channel just got a strike because your screen is black, maybe from me spamming nigga 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 Durian Rider nigga 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 Durian nigga nigga.
Hey.
Hey, you fell asleep.
Yeah, I know.
Feeling okay,
Okay, that's good.
I haven't eaten though, but.
Uh-huh.
Alright.
Okay.
Love you.
I love you too. See ya.
Okay, bye.
Oh. Oh. I think I'm gonna have to take a nap. And like take the rest of the night off. I just need sleep. I just need it. I wish I could stream more for you guys, but I just need to sleep. But big thanks to everybody who donated on Streamlabs. Really appreciate it. Thanks a lot, guys. Should be on tomorrow night around the same time, so I'll see y'all then. And nighty night.